I will briefly introduce to you a work that I call Mazu Water Legends. Mazu represents a new kind of contemporary artwork. It combines 4 traditional elements, which is video, imagery, sound and text. And the new part of this is that some parts of this work are dynamically and live generated as a collaboration between the audience and a technology within artificial intelligence called generative modeling. So the work is participatory. The audience interacts and collaborates, co-creates with the AI machines by means of a web application or a web page. So the audience goes there and they can give input that partly are used to generate live dynamic imagery and audio in the exhibition space, as well as feeding text information back to the individual devices that the audience members are using. The work aims to overcome some of the major challenges about using artificial intelligence. For instance, ethical concerns as well as artistic challenges. The ethical concerns relates to issues around intellectual property rights, provenance, so that the data sets that are used are either custom-made specifically for this project, or they are selected from datasets that have a permissive copyright rules so that the work does not breach any intellectual property rights. The fact that the datasets are to a large extent customized means also that the work overcomes some of the artistic challenges with generative modeling in general, which is that generative models tend to idealize and produce stereotypical images. Because this work are trained on data, for instance, the images of specific locations and details of these specific locations, the images generated could more be described as site-specific, so that the work will always generate imagery from a particular site based on how the audience gives input to the AI machines. Narratively, the work explores 2 main concepts. It's mythology and contemporary ecological environmental challenges. Mythologically, the work is loosely based on an ancient Chinese legend of Mazu, a water goddess, who arrives to our contemporary world, materializes, as it were, or virtualizes, perhaps I should say, as an artificial intelligence. Mazu represents, or is an analogy to the concept of nature, particularly the sea and water. And through the work we get these creations of Mazu, which are both beautiful, poetic, because the audio, the synthesized speech and the text generated are based on datasets of ancient Chinese poetry. So you could imagine that Mazu speaks a little bit along the lines of a 300-year-old Chinese poet that would be suddenly inserted in today's world with very little and very fragmentary knowledge about what is actually going on here in our human world. So it has the sense of poetic beauty. It also has the sense of the power of destruction that nature has. So the imagery generates images depending on how the audience collectively chooses of human artifacts that sometimes rises up from the sea, sometimes is overtaken by the sea, representing that power in nature to give and to destroy. And it serves as an analogy to how we today relate to nature, treat nature, and how nature responds back to us. It can give us life and it can destroy life. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy the work.